Star Wars is filled with different types of creatures and otherworldly inhabitants that make the universe much more expansive and diverse. One such species is encountered by Darth Maul when he's sent to a planet by Darth Sidious, aka Palpatine, to retrieve a lost package. Unbound to retrieve the package, Darth Maul comes face to face with a threat that he has never faced before. This adversary is straight out of a Lovecraft monster and has some serious nefarious plans for the galaxy that even threaten the dark side. Who are these adversaries, and what do they want? Let's explore Star Wars Darth Maul, Black, White, and Red #1, Ghost Ship. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. A lost package. The issue starts with Darth Sidious informing Maul about a lost package with prisoners unbound to a prison planet. Maul suggests a possible mutiny against him, but Palpatine is worried as the incoming transmission suggests a worse fate for the transport, which was inadvertently hauled before their destination. He plays the last incoming transmission for Maul, which sounds like 1,000 agonizing souls screaming in pain with a monstrous image of an entity that Palpatine describes as a fascinating blast of disorder. Palpatine explains that these creatures are profoundly dark and highly unstable, and stem from ancient nightmares, like the legends of dark magic. That's why he wants to employ a cold, brutal, and precise weapon that can counteract this force. That's why he chose his prized pupil, Darth Maul. Unbound to the prison, Maul learns that the prisoners belong to a cult-like organization named the Final Occultation. The order is fueled by the chaotic forces of the Netherworld. They're aware of Darth Sidious and Darth Maul's existence and are probably prepared for his arrival. The Final Occultation plans to expose Darth Sidious's plans to take over the Council and extinguish the rise of the Sith. However, Maul is more worried that Palpatine wishes to interrogate the Order and harvest their anarchic powers to fuel his desires. Over a dozen members of the Final Occultation have been painstakingly captured, yet 3 of them are more threatening and form the trinity of leadership of the cult. These 3 entities are Heldi Cerebron, Vasek Aldrich, and the third unknown entity, which is the most formidable of the lot. As Maul reaches the transport ship, he draws out his dual-blade saber before encumbering to the clutches of an unknown force. This force explodes Maul to bits, but as he opens his eyes, he realizes this is just one of the mental horrors that he will be facing on this ghost ship. Before he can recover, the vacuum seal of the transport ship gets deactivated, sucking Maul's ship, the Scimitar, and him into vast space. Maul uses his saber to revert the controls of the bay hangar and activate the seal. He also remotely activates Scimitar safety protocols that allow the ship to safely land on the nearest ice planet. After recovering, Maul starts searching for the shape of any life form. He's first greeted with piles of bodies before encountering a guard who begs Maul to save him from Heldi and get her out of his brain. Heldi presents herself to Maul, an entity with a bulbous, enormous brain and frail body that turns into tentacles at the end. Before he can act, Maul finds himself in the palms of an unknown entity. This entity is enormous in size, a demon with a tentacle face and razor nails. The entity grabs Maul with one of its tentacles, slowly gripping him to his death. Maul realizes the mental manipulation and focuses on his training. He grabs the saber and slashes Heldi, slicing her from the middle, thus bringing some form of symmetry to this chaotic hellscape. The guard thanks Maul as he is finally free from Heldi's control, and he begs Maul to help him. But Maul is unbothered by his frantic cries for help as he's on a bigger mission. Maul goes to the detention center, where he finds nothing but more bodies. However, unlike previous bodies that looked like they died of mental exhaustion, these bodies appear more twisted and broken. A wailing prisoner catches Maul's attention. Maul presses the prison cell to see that this is not a prisoner, but a guard. The guard tells Maul that he has locked himself here, and he should do the same before he's caught by Vasek. Vasek emerges from the shadows, firing lasers from his Gatling gun. Maul expertly counters the hits and admires the physical specimen Vasek is, a rhino humanoid that is 3 times Maul's weight and 5 times slower than him. However, Maul's technique and precision are overpowered by Vasek's disorderly fighting prowess. Vasek opens the prison cell and throws the guard at Maul. Maul slices the guard in half, but Vasek shoots his saber and it falls from his hand. Vasek then grabs Maul by the throat and asks him if he knows what they worship. Chaos and pain, Vasek remarks, unaware that Maul is using force to grab his saber. In one swift action, the double-blade saber slices off Vasek's arms. Maul asks the whereabouts of the last priest, to which Vasek replies, "Follow the screams." Maul finishes off Vasek, thrusting the saber into his chest, and, as instructed, follows the screams. Maul follows the screams, and as the screams get louder, he uncovers the scale of this madness that has engulfed the whole ship. He witnesses a horde of the crowd screaming in pain, but these screams tend to fuse together into a collective voice, which could be mistaken for some kind of singing. As the horrors unfold before his eyes, he hears a whisper, "You wish to join them, don't you? So join them." The voice takes the form of none other than Maul himself. This new Maul tells him that he knows that there is a thin line between pleasure and pain. This fake Maul then tears off his own face, revealing a wailing skull. Maul slashes him, but the entity vanishes into thin air and takes the shape of a black mass. Even after several attempts to destroy this entity, it takes no damage and reveals to Maul that it is an emissary of chaos. The unknown entity reveals that Darth Sidious and Maul have a simple mindset. They believe that there is a light and a dark side. However, both sides are part of order, and the final occultation aims to bring anarchy, which is the true system of the universe. Maul finally grasps the scale of the threat that this entity poses, not just to their cause, but to the universe. The entity tells Maul that when Darth Sidious imprisoned the Order of Final Occultation, they began a summoning ceremony, which will soon be complete. They wish to use the hypermatter particles to open a rift of madness that will engulf the whole galaxy. The entity tries to bribe Maul for his control over pain and induct him as their high priest. However, Maul stays unflinching and throws his saber towards the hypermatter particles, thus destroying them. He states his response to the seduction of the entity: "What you worship is its own prison." Witnessing the destruction of hypermatter particles, the entity instructs the prisoner to kill Maul. The horde of people scream together as one organism races towards Maul. For a moment, Maul considers the possibility of killing off every single person present on the ship, but he realizes that covering himself with blood and detached limbs is in itself a pathway to madness. Therefore, he races and exits the chamber to reach the hangar bay, where he gets in a space pod and escapes the Hellscape planet on his own. He travels to the nearby ice planet where his ship has landed and jumps off the escape pod before it crashes on the surface. Maul emerges from the grave of snow to contact Darth Sidious. Darth Maul informs his master that the job is done, but not in the fashion he would have wanted. He further explains that the final occultation should have never been captured and should have been destroyed immediately. Darth Sidious remarks that the final occultation nearly broke Maul, to which Maul replies, "No, they nearly broke the galaxy." Maul informs Sidious that whatever horror he witnessed, he made sure he was the only one to know their true nature and that they shall forever remain hidden. He expresses his amazement that such madness exists, and now he understands all too well the need for order. He promises his master that he will soon come back to him after escaping this snow-clad hell. Marvelous verdict. The dark side and Sith Lords are the most nefarious creatures of Star Wars, yet this comic introduces us to such entities and factions of the universe that are beyond the control of the Sith. Initially, it seems Darth Sidious might be looking to control this strange order for his benefit, but as the story progresses, we understand that this kind of power is beyond control, and its true meaning lies in madness. Darth Maul is such an interesting character who goes head-on in any conflict like a hardened warrior, and we also see his loyalty to Darth Sidious being tested. It also showcases that Maul is not conflicted to go against order and take action, which can neutralize a galactic threat. The mental threat these monsters pose and their thirst for galactic domination set them apart from other Star Wars villains and make them more akin to the creatures of Lovecraft horrors. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.